You have pushed false claims about some of your rivals, from Nikki Haley to former President Barack Obama, saying that they were not born in the United States, which is not true. You have told 4 congresswomen of color who were American citizens to go back to where they came from. You have used words like animal and rabid to describe black district attorneys. You've attacked black journalists, calling them a loser, saying the questions that they ask are, quote, stupid and racist. You've had dinner with a white supremacist at your Mar-a-Lago resort. So my question, sir, now that you are asking black supporters to vote for you, why should black voters trust you after you have used language like that?
This is the exact moment when Donald Trump regretted his decision to field questions from a real journalist.
Well, first of all, I don't think I've ever been asked a question in such a horrible manner. First question. You don't even say, hello, how are you? Are you with ABC? Because I think they're a fake news network, a terrible network. And I think it's disgraceful that I came here in good spirit. I love the black population of this country. I've done so much for the black population of this country.
This was just the start of his completely off-the-rails appearance at the National Association of Black Journalists Convention, and Trump would only get more disrespectful with ABC's Rachel Scott as the conversation continued.
I won the case, and it got very little publicity. I didn't notice ABC doing any publicity on it, George.
We covered you extensively, sir. I'd love to move over onto different topics.
I didn't notice you do any publicity on it at all. I won the case, the biggest case. This is an attack on a political opponent. I have another one where I have a hostile judge.
We have you for a limited time, sir. I'd love to move on to different topics.
Excuse you, you're the one that held me up for 35 minutes, just so you understand. If I came onto a stage like this and I got treated so rudely as this woman treated me.
Oh my goodness.
And I'm fine with it because she was very rude, sir. Very rude. That wasn't a question. She didn't ask me a question. She gave a statement. That wasn't a question.
I repeated your statement, sir, actually.
Even drawing a vocal reaction from Fox News confidant Harris Faulkner at one point. You could just tell that having to answer hard-hitting questions from black women journalists, no less, is eating away at Trump's patience and striking a unique nerve with him. The compounded contempt Trump has toward the women on stage reached a boiling point with this now infamous answer.
Do you believe that Vice President Kamala Harris is only on the ticket because she is a black woman?
I've known her a long time indirectly, not directly very much, and she was always of Indian heritage, and she was only promoting Indian heritage. I didn't know she was black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn black, and now she wants to be known as black.
Aside from Trump's mocking tone while using the word black, nothing paints a clearer picture of our country's white supremacist foundations than a white man telling a predominantly black audience that his political opponent, who has always identified as black, only started doing so when it became politically advantageous for her. Trump either thought the audience was dumb enough to believe this was a legit criticism of Kamala Harris, or he was just signaling to his white nationalist base that he's still plenty racist for them, despite his VP nominee, J.D. Vance, being in a mixed-race marriage himself. You gotta feel horrible for Vance's children to see their own father kiss the ring of someone who does not believe they can identify with multiple races or ethnicities.
So I don't know, is she Indian or is she black?
She has always identified as a black woman. She went to a historically black college.
I respect either one, but she obviously doesn't, because she was Indian all the way, and then all of a sudden she made a turn and she became a black person.
Just to be clear, sir, do you believe that
I think somebody should look into that too when you continue in a very hostile, nasty tone.
Judging by the crowd's reaction, they're probably thinking exactly what we are. What makes Donald Trump, of all people, think he has the authority to definitively decide what race Kamala Harris identifies as, and even accuse her of disrespecting her black heritage? This is sadly what passes as legitimate political rhetoric whenever your party decides to make bigotry their main campaign and policy platforms.
Why come here? What is your message today?
My message is to stop people from invading our country that are taking, frankly, a lot of problems with it. But one of the big problems, and a lot of the journalists in this room I know and I have great respect for, a lot of the journalists in this room are black. I will tell you that coming from the border are millions and millions of people that happen to be taking black jobs. You had the best
What exactly is a black job, sir?
A black job is anybody that has a job. That's what it is. Anybody that has a job.
All right.
And
Mr. President,
they're taking the employment away from black people.
Case in point, in a properly functioning political system, this talking point would be dismissed as pure racism and just another method to drive division between minority groups to prevent them from organizing together and rising up against the ruling class. But in today's Republican Party, this insane talking point is seen as a winning strategy.
Are those comments defensible, Senator?
Caitlin, of course. First off, it's refreshing to see a presidential candidate who's willing to go in front of the media, something that Donald Trump knew would be a tough interview. It turned out to be a hostile, adversarial interview, but he's been doing that for 9 years. Caitlin, if you didn't hear Donald Trump talking about her positions and his record, then you didn't watch the interview. It went on for more than 30 minutes.
I did watch the interview,
The vast majority
Senator.
of it was Donald Trump talking. The vast majority of it, Caitlin, was Donald Trump talking about his record, contrasting it to the Biden-Harris record of higher inflation and wide open borders and war and chaos around the world.
Enter Arkansas Senator Tom Cotton, who you may remember from this display of racism, entered into the official congressional record.
Have you ever been a member of the Chinese Communist Party?
Senator, I'm Singaporean. No.
Have you ever been associated or affiliated with the Chinese Communist Party?
No, Senator. Again, I'm
Okay.
Singaporean.
Well, Donald Trump said that what matters is that she identifies as a dangerous San Francisco liberal. It's not what race she identifies as, but what
He's
she
solely
identifies
focused on race in
politically.
that comment,
What's going to make a
Senator.
difference? Caitlin, the interview was more than 30 minutes long, which is 30 minutes longer than Kamala Harris has had an interview with anyone since she became the presidential nominee.
Being the slimeball that he is, he slithered right out of answering that surprisingly poignant question from Caitlin Collins. Now let's take a look at how VP Kamala Harris responded to Trump's racist attacks on her.
And it was the same old show. The divisiveness and the disrespect. And let me just say, the American people deserve better. The American people deserve better.
Well, isn't that the truth? If you can and are willing, please become a paid member here at TYT Sports. And or go to tyt.com/join. In addition, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate it. Have a great day.